What's going on, everybody? Hope all of you guys are well. I am back doing some doing the media rounds with Mission Pro Wrestling for Hell Hath No Fury, and I'm going to bring on uh, the American Kaiju, Lindsay Snow. What's going on, Lindsay? Let me just get you in here.
How you doing, Lay? Am I pronouncing that correctly? I hope I. What's
Hey,
up, Lindsay? How you doing?
what's up? How's it going?
Good, good, good. I want to thank you for taking the time out to do the media rounds because you got a big match coming up at Hell Hath No Fury, presented by Mission Pro Wrestling. How you feeling today?
Oh man, I feel great. Are you kidding me? I get to go back to doing what I love. This is like the best news ever. And not only do I get to go back to doing what I love, I get to fight Thunder Rosa for the prestigious NWA Women's Championship. Like, are you kidding me? This kaiju right here, like, could not be happier.
That's awesome. So yeah, talk about that. The pandemic hit and it stopped a lot of shows and a lot of the crowds can't be there. Mission Pro Wrestling is doing their best in keeping everybody safe. Social distancing masks are required for that show. So were you doing training during this whole pandemic? Because I know that your body is no longer used to the bumps and you don't have all those reps in. So what were you doing during the whole pandemic in terms of wrestling?
Oh man, studying a lot, honestly. But besides studying, training, you can't just like drop the ball. I definitely wasn't as strict on my training because I couldn't be, like you couldn't access the gym. So I did the best with what I had. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I'm actually like beyond the pro wrestling training thing too. Like I'm also like been trying to like keep my head straight with tattooing as well. And
Yeah,
that,
I know. You've been a tattooer for like 15 years. Is that correct?
yeah,
That's
that's,
awesome. That's so cool. And I saw some of your work, and it looks so dope. I'm definitely gonna have to fly out to you to get a piece done, or maybe you can come over here. So about tattooing, what kind of stress relief do you get from that? Is it a therapeutic thing to just sit there and work on your art like that?
oh, for tattooing, it's more of, I mean, I guess, yeah, you could say it is therapeutic because like it does like allow me to focus my energy in a positive manner. Pretty much how I look at training as well. Tattooing actually brought me to my dream with pro wrestling. So I
Yeah, talk about that. How did tattooing take you into pro wrestling?
actually, so like I've been a fan of pro wrestling since I was a little kid, and being able to just have my iPad at work, and like I would constantly play, like I had WWE Network, so I would just constantly have matches playing like while I tattooed, um, just because like that's what I wanted to that's what I wanted to listen to while I was tattooing, right? And one day, I'm tattooing, and I just like I go and I put on like just random Japanese wrestling, and like I'm sure like nobody else is a fan of this, but like I want to watch that.
Right.
So I put that on, and then the person I'm tattooing, they're like, "Oh, dang, you're a wrestling fan?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I am actually." And they're like, "I could tell because of what you picked to put on." And so we start to talking, and they're like, "Oh, hey, check it out. I'm actually a pro wrestler, and I'm training at this facility. If you would like to come out, here's an opportunity." And I had already been competing in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and so I was like, you know what? I think I could actually like hold my own. So
That's cool. What is it true that you were trained by Jay Lethal?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so the cool
actually
thing
where I was
about Jay
going with
Lethal,
that.
the
So,
cool thing about Jay Lethal is that him and I are from the same hometown, and we
oh no
graduated from
way,
the same high school. Now,
no way.
everybody knew I was obsessed with pro wrestling.
Uh,
And so in our high school, it's like 5 or 6 different buildings put together because it's such a big city. So they used to tell me, dude, there's a guy in I think he went to Halsey. So he goes, there's a guy in Halsey that imitates Macho Man so well. He's obsessed with pro wrestling just as much as you are. You have to meet the guy. And I never got to meet him. I've reached out to Jay a couple times just to say, hey, like Elizabeth, New Jersey, that's our hometown, Mr. 908. Lindsay, it's Max. Max says hello, Lindsay. Everybody's joining in. You have a lot of support, and a lot of people are coming into the chat right now, and it's so cool. So you gotta hook me up with Jay. Just talk about Elizabeth in our hometown. But you're from Jacksonville, is that correct?
I am.
All right. So the coolest thing about traveling and going to other places is like I love finding little holes in the wall to eat. So tell me, where would you take us if we went out to Jackson?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, it depends on what kind of food you're into, right?
I'm into anything. I do not discriminate. I'm down for anything. And if it's something crazy or weird, I'll definitely try it too.
I got all the hits.
What's that?
I said I got all the hits.
Okay, go ahead. Hit me.
All right. So like if you want soul food, Potter's House. Potter's House.
Potter's House.
Yeah, you cannot go wrong with Potter's.
What do you get there? What do you get there?
Okay, so either oxtails, right?
Oh, I love oxtail. I love oxtail.
So they're super good. And then there's Caribbean Stars. This is like right down the street from my shop. They also have like super good oxtails, but they have really great curry chicken. And like I'm like a super big curry fan. I love curry chicken. And then like if you want like good mofongo, there's Puerto Platas.
Wow. No, sorry. So you already know where. Whenever I visit, I'm holding you to it. Whenever I visit, you got to take me out to these restaurants. So Jacksonville is also the home base of AEW, and a lot of people from the Indies are going on to AEW and getting the recognition that they deserve, all the success and all the that platform, that larger platform. A couple of people in there, including MJ Jenkins, who was in NXT. Now she's in AEW. You got to wrestle her a few times. And now they have this new AEW Heels program where they're trying to push female wrestler. What are your thoughts on that and how AEW wants to perceive the females and the women in the wrestling business?
I think that everything that they're doing is like moving it in the right direction. I feel like what they're trying to do is establish the same thing for the women that has already been established for the men, So like big ups to them for stepping up and doing that. Like I said, like I don't think that it could go in a wrong direction.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I had a question about tattooing. When and I've had this experience before when I go to artists. I have an idea, and then they come up with something better. They come up with something that I didn't even know that I wanted, and then they show me the piece, and I'm like, "Holy shit! Yes, I want to do that." So now you have people coming up to you in your shop, and they're like, "I want this, and I want this," and as an artist that you're like, "It's probably not going to work. I'm going to present this to them and show them that it's what they want." Can you parallel that to wrestling when it comes to the crowd in there and they think they know what you want, and then you present something new and they're like, holy shit, my mind is blown?
For sure. It goes back to like territories and like knowing your audience pretty much.
Okay.
That's like where I can equate it to, because like pretty much like when I have a consultation with somebody, I'm like trying to figure out, who my audience is and who I have to like figure out like how to make this person, like happy with what they have to live with for the rest of their life. And I kind of feel like with pro wrestling, like whenever you go out there, especially like for like a bigger company, to like try to put yourself out there, you're really putting yourself out there, like just like pretty much just like tattooing, you have to like bare your soul to these people and like hope that like you're still on the same page.
You're not only a wrestler or a tattoo artist. I looked through your Instagram, and you were also an airline pilot for all about 5 minutes. Can you tell me how you got? Because I got to do that too. I walked in an airplane, excuse me, and the pilot was walking out. I guess he was just grabbing something, and while we were all seated, and I pat him on the back. I'm such a dick. I pat him on the back, and I was just like, "Hey, Bob, you can go home. I'll take it from here." And he's like, he just starts laughing, and he's like, "You can sit down there if you want." I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" I'm like, I grabbed the stewardess. I'm like, "Here's my phone. Take a ton of pictures." So how did it happen for you? Did you intimidate them? Did you walk up to them and just flex your biceps and show them all your tattoos?
I can't. A magician never reveals their secrets.
Very true. Very true. So, so what day did the magic happen, and where did you fly everybody?
Oh man. Okay, so that actually happened a couple of times on that trip. It was like whenever I started flying to Minneapolis for the match that I had like 2 weeks ago. And yeah, I was told by Thomas Asher, who's actually like the owner of the shop that I work at up here in Jacksonville at Autograph, and he was just telling me like, hey, if you're nice, people are nice back, you know. So pretty much like I just waited until like everybody got on the plane, and I was like, hey, what's up, guys? Can I be the pilot?
You're like, get off the seat now.
No, not at all. I was trying to actually get home that day, man. So like,
yes, you need a future booking, so you have to behave yourself. Hey, I want to talk about you've been immortalized, or you will be immortalized soon. You're going to be in a video game. You're a playable character in a video game. Can you talk to us about that whole process and how that came to be?
So I was actually approached by Virtual Basement, and they asked if I wanted to be a playable character in their new game. And like everyone who is approached with this amazing opportunity, like how could you not say hell yeah? You know,
right.
Like, oh shoot, like this is like a really awesome like step for me, like in recognition, and like that the work that I put in is like paying off. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was really, really awesome to be offered that. They told me, you know, like, hey, go ahead and sign this and send it back, and then we'll start getting your character ready. So I hope that I get to do mocap for my character, because like that would be super sick if I was actually able to be in the game, you know?
Right, yeah. So
like
when you get a copy of the game, are you gonna play as yourself or against yourself?
I mean, why wouldn't I be both?
Right.
Right?
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Like, how weird would that be? Me playing as me versus me. Like, oh shoot, that's like video game Inception right there.
Definitely. Hey, so I want about tattooing. You got a lot of guys that a lot of funny videos about these tough guys that go in and then they can't handle it. Can you go back to a story that sticks out about some tough guy that walked in and as soon as you touched him, he started crying like a baby?
I mean, that happens, you know. Like,
yeah.
Like people just like don't know what they like talk themselves up to a lot. Not a lot, but like random little situations will happen to where I'm just like, man, like, did you not know what you signed up for? Like,
as a tattoo artist and speaking from experience, where was your most painful tattoo?
The palms of my hands were definitely like.
You have the palm of your hand tattoo? Can I see? What do you have? Oh my god!
And then I have a ruby on that hand, all-seeing eye on that hand. Yeah.
So okay, now you have a ton of tattoos. What goes into whatever? Nice. So is that your promo picture? Just doing that?
Whatever forever, man. Whatever forever.
So when it comes to tattooing, where do you decide where you're gonna put your tattoos? Is there any spot that's open, or is there something that goes into it?
So it's kind of funny that you bring that up, because like when people see me, they just see like a whole bunch of tattoos, but I'm like, right. Oh man, like I got like blank spots, like what could fit there, you know? Like,
yeah. Definitely. Hey, so you got to try out for the WWE in NXT, or rather in the Performance Center. Tell me about that day or that weekend. How did that go? And
it was a super grueling process. Definitely like one of the hardest things I've ever put myself through. Not just like the physicality level, but like the mental level too, because like the whole time I had Matt Bloom in my face being like, oh, I'm going to make you quit. And I'm like, I'd like to see you try. You're
like the tough guy walking into the tattoo shop.
pretty much same thing, you know. But it was just like a really like it was a really amazing opportunity, and I feel like that was also like it's just like another brick in the process, you know, like another brick in my story. So
Any conversations from the people that work there that stuck out to you, or anything inspiring? What kind of
oh
advice did they give
man,
you after seeing you?
Norman Smiley, um, he actually like gave me probably like some of the best conversations and best advice, but like it was kind of like I don't know. It was like I was like so excited to be in front of these people, like to be able to show them what I could do, and I was just like super appreciative of all of the like any attention that got paid towards me, because there were so many people there, you know. And with Norman, like he singled me out and personally gave me advice, and that's what like really sticks out to me, is like how much attention they actually like really like do pay to like individuals.
Tryout aside, was there ever a moment at a show that you walk in and you're you and you're such a badass? I've been reading up on you already, and you walk in and you have a level of professionalism that you need to conduct yourself at. Was there ever a moment that you saw somebody booked and you're like, holy crap, that's that person?
Um, you know, there have been times where I have been on shows where I feel like damn, like this is like this is a real deal Holyfield, you know. Like, so yes, like I can say that that has happened to me, and but I feel like that's just like a it's not like necessarily like a measuring stick or like litmus test or anything, but that just shows like, hey, like look, like you're on your way to you're on the right track. Like just keep doing what you're doing, you know. Like I just feel like that's just, you know, another
That's the way to go. I'm reading some fan questions. I was told to ask about Emily, your biggest fan, Emily.
oh, Emily. Oh my goodness. Okay, Emily is this little girl in North Carolina. Well,
Okay.
her parents drive all like I'm pretty sure they live in South Carolina actually, but every North Carolina show, South Carolina show, Georgia show, they always come, and I love this family. Like shout out real quick to
I'm
Lee and
assuming that that's her mom on the chat right now.
yeah, Lee and Bob Darling. They're amazing people, and they have raised this awesome little girl, Emily. Oh my goodness, like she pops me so hard. She literally was on an interview with Ethan Case. And like she had just bought an Ethan Case shirt, right? And Ethan goes, "Who's your favorite wrestler?" And she goes, "The American Kaiju, Lindsay Snow."
Tell me about the moment what made her so special about the moment you met her?
Yeah. Man, pretty much like as soon as I met this little girl, she like immediately like started running my merch table. And, like
Wow,
like,
really?
me, like follow me around, dude. She's a hustler too, man. She's like, "Hey, are you standing in front of this table? Do you want to buy something?"
Whoa,
Like,
really? How old is she?
dude. All right, I feel like she's like maybe like 8-ish around there. Yeah. So
Wow, and she's just
I
running
met
your
her.
shit like, hey,
I
you're
met her
gonna
super
buy something? What's up? Are you gonna? I got deals over here. Like she's like your little manager. That's cool.
dude, for real. Like I don't even have to work whenever she comes. She is 8. Okay, so
It turns
I
out
was
she's 8.
right.
Okay, cool.
Heck yes. Thanks, Lee.
Hey, so when it comes to people like that, the beautiful little girl Emily, how do you feel about having that platform that these little girls are coming up to you and they think you're such a cool person and you're turned into a hero for somebody? What does that do for you?
It's honestly like it's very flattering. But at the same time, like it makes you realize like, hey, like little kids are looking up to you, you know, like it puts like that added amount of pressure, but much needed pressure, because like I feel like if you're in the public eye and then like little kids want to be like you when they grow up, like, man, you better not screw that up.
Yeah. Do you feel like little kids are harder to impress than adults?
Yeah, and then they like, dude, oh my gosh, this little girl, like, if there's ever a point in the match whenever I'm getting beat up or if something bad happens to me, you better believe that that little girl is gonna start a chant against the person that is beating me up. And then like that's like I have literally had people at shows tell me about how she was like ruthless, you know, and like you better not talk about my Lindsay like that. You better not talk about my guy, you know. So it's definitely like one of those things, you know, like once you have like the kids that are behind you, you know, like
Lee says every time, every
dude,
time.
every time,
Coach Jeremy is saying hi, Lindsay.
hey, what's up?
So you know what? I see all these people coming into this live to say what's up. Can you talk about that support that you have and you know what it does for you if it motivates you to? Do you feel like you have to work harder now just for them?
Okay, so like my work ethic has never like wavered based on fan base. My work ethic, I'm gonna do this no matter if I have fans or not. The fact that I do have fans and the fact that they do support me makes it mean that much more to me that what I am doing is the right thing that I need to be doing, you know? So it's like not so much validation, but it is like it is kind of like verification that
Uh-huh.
you know, I'm on the right track. So that's all I ever look for, is like signs that I'm doing the right thing, and to keep on that path. And so far, you know, like with my work ethic, with training, like I said, it will never waver. I will always be this crazy person.
So yeah, let's stay on that topic about your work ethic. What's a day in the life of Lindsay Snow? I always hear these crazy workout regimens and these crazy diets, and the fact that some people who work out can eat a ton. What's a
Yeah.
day like? What time do you wake up? What are you eating for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and what kind of workouts are you doing?
Well, like honestly, since quarantine started, I've become a vampire. Like I used to be a reverse vampire, now I'm like a regular vampire. So
A regular vampire.
when it comes to like you know, going to bed, probably going to bed around like 8 or 9 in the morning, and like waking up around like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, maybe around there.
8 or 9 in the morning.
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
I really like the nighttime is the right time, you know.
So okay, so
It's
you're
the
waking
right
up, and
time.
what are
It's
you
like
eating when you wake up?
right now I'm doing like the 4-4-4 gimmick, you know, like 4 ounces of meat, 4 ounces of veggies, 4 ounces of complex carbs, like after I train. So I'm doing that right now. But I know that like that's only to get me to where I feel aesthetics are where I want them to be, and then I'll probably like I'll back off like a little bit of the four.
When it comes to wrestling, you got your jiu-jitsu training, you have a tattoo business. How important is time management when somebody is so driven and they want to do everything?
Dude, I write lists every night. Like you have no idea. The notes in my phone are endless. Every night, like before I go to bed, I have like a list, like a schedule of stuff that I need to complete. Like tasks that I need to complete, drawings that I need to complete, interviews that I need to have. You know, like all of these things are part of like a daily like weird regimen that I have, that if I didn't have, I probably like would be even crazier than I already am. So
Nice. You were able to have a lot of great matches with a lot of different women. Is there any out there in the independent scene, or even in the mainstream scene, that you're like, I would love to get in the ring with her?
oh man. yeah, there's like so much talent right now. Are you kidding me? There's like so many ladies out there that I would just like die to get in the ring with. But you know what? I honestly, I want to fight Sumi Sakai again. Like that was like one of my
Oh, okay,
favorite
okay.
matches. Whenever I had that match with her at Bloodsport, so like that was like probably like one of my favorite matches, and just like working with someone on that level, you know, like it was just like it was mind blowing. But like, not to say that there aren't other women that I would love to wrestle hands down like any day of the week, you know, but I really want Sumi again.
Nice. So here's a question that I always like to ask people in the wrestling business, and this is where you kind of reveal your age, or you kind of reveal like who your favorites are. So let's say you're booked for Survivor Series and you're the team captain. Who are the other four women, any era, that you
Any
would have on
era.
your team? Any era.
All right, Luna, obviously.
Oh, nice.
Um
Wow. Why am I not why am I not surprised about that? That's cool.
Manami Toyota, Bonacano,
Oh,
and Medusa.
that would make four. Wait.
You said four.
No, it's okay. Yeah. That's right. It's you and then those
Yeah.
four. Okay. Wow, that sounds like a scary team. That just sounds like a scary team.
Bunch of murderers.
Bunch of murderers. Hey, so when you talk about hey, there's a question. What's better, face or heel?
It depends. Like, you know.
What are the pros and cons of playing both sides?
Okay, so I honestly I enjoy really working both. And like if I have the opportunity to do both in a match, then I'm totally taking that turn. Like if
Nice.
I have the opportunity, hell yeah. But so the difference is all reaction based.
Okay.
So it's like how the crowd receives you, or how like basically like how you're perceived is like the main difference, obviously. But like how you play to that part is that's the magic, you know. um
So you're when you talk about being a face or heel, like I remember I remember being a kid and all the heels were like a bunch of wusses. Like you wanted them to get their ass beat like so bad. I remember meeting Million Dollar Man. I got to meet Million Dollar Man.
yeah,
And I remember asking him like what makes a good heel? He's like, you gotta be the biggest wuss ever. And I was like, what? But how do you establish dominance? He goes, you don't. He's like, what did I do? I kept poking everybody, poking everybody. He goes,
yes,
and then I would run behind Virgil, I'd run behind Andre and
yes,
Bobby, I'd run behind everybody. And he goes, and made you want to see me get beat up. And
exactly.
that's what made you pay those tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh
Wanted,
man, I thought
wanted
like
to see the guy
what
win.
about a bad guy who was just like so down to fight, And he goes, what happens with that? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, Stone Cold did that. And then Stone Cold ended up being cheered. You got another question. Which company would you like to be signed to in the future?
Honestly, to be signed to any company is a huge honor. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. Personally, I love how AEW is working out right now. I really dig that they're in my hometown, and I would love to be that uh, that hometown hero for them. But that's not singling them out in any way, shape, or form. To where I definitely am like, yes, this is where I want to be. You know, I just
Yeah.
want to um, be able to kind of like put jujitsu and catch wrestling on a bigger platform, and that's just been my main goal since I first started pro wrestling. Is I didn't want to be, I didn't want to be like a ass and titties chick. you know, I wanted to be somebody that was taken seriously for my skills, and someone that could, you know, take this to the next level.
You know, when a woman is presented on TV, um, usually the first thing you go for, you know, it's just public perception. Usually, the first thing you go for is how she looks
Mm.
and how good she looks in her gear, or you know how her hair looks, and how do you break that stigma? You as a woman, how do you when you talk about that, you don't want to be an ass and tits girl, and that's admirable because you want your work to do the talking. How do you get that across to such a large audience that might have a majority thought when it comes to female wrestling?
My gear for the longest time has been like pretty conservative. I feel like I wear a lot more material than like a bunch of other ladies. But it's also like how you carry yourself too. And if you want to be taken seriously, like that's how you have to carry yourself. That's just the bottom line.
That,
Like,
no, that's cool. That's definitely cool. You have a really cool Instagram post showing a really old picture of you and your father, and
yeah.
it was a really sweet post, and you said a lot of nice things about him. Can you talk about him? Tell us what kind of man you know he was to you in your childhood, and how important it is that you carry things that he taught you.
So my dad always kind of encouraged me to be an athlete. Whether it was like intentional or not, he was an athlete. And it's kind of weird because my dad used to race motocross before he even met my mom. And his motocross racing number ended up being my birthday.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you recently celebrated a birthday last month. Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a second 'cause I want to learn more about your dad. That's such a cool fact.
It's pretty funny too because then I ended up being his late birthday present because I was born 2 days after his birthday. So
Oh, okay, okay. Nice.
it's wild how stuff ends up working out like that. But you know what? Like if it's destined to be, it's gonna happen. You know.
Yeah, and when you think about all these accomplishments as you go along, you got these checkpoints of like, man, I got to do that, I got to do that. How much of your father's lessons in your childhood is part of that accomplishment?
Oh, I always look back to my dad because he's where I get my work ethic from is because my dad, okay, both my parents are very hard workers, but my dad, dude, my dad is like the most thorough dude you'll ever meet. Like if there is like one job to get done, like he will make sure that he has like every like part of it accurate to the T, you know, like that's how I feel like that's where I get my work ethic from is because like learning how thorough my dad was and learning about how like my dad was like the he taught me how to throw a football, you know, like a perfect spiral. So like he was like, I don't care if you're, you know, 5 years old, 6 years old, whatever. I don't care. You're a little girl, but you're gonna learn how to play football, and you're gonna learn how to be a good sportsman. Like my dad, he's super awesome, and he's also hilarious.
Oh no, all dads are hilarious. I can speak from personal experience because I'm a father and I get these eye rolls from my daughter when I do these jokes, and I'm like, you know that was good, you know that was good.
Right?
But
Like, why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the bathroom?
why?
Because the P is silent.
Yes, yeah. Um, what, what was his reaction when you decided you were going to do pro wrestling?
Okay, so when I wanted to start pursuing pro wrestling, um, my parents weren't like they didn't understand it. You know, they didn't really get why all of a sudden this like career like major career change. You know, and I told them I was like, no, I'm still tattooing. Like it's still gonna be good. You know, and I just really want to pursue this dream. And I feel like once I expressed to my dad, you know, like, hey, like like this is your fault, you know, like this is because like my dad used to like uh, we used to like, like, can you smell what the rock is cooking? And then like do like it
You
was
used to
like
do
back and forth to each
you used to
other.
do the eyebrow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so that's like that was my first introduction to pro wrestling was because of my dad when I was a little kid. So like everything always it's like full circle pretty much. So I feel like him starting to understand like, hey, like this is a dream that I actually put in your head unwillingly, but
Yeah.
now like the fact that you're willing to pursue this dream, I feel like that was like my dedication was what they noticed. It wasn't the fact that I wanted to do this weird job now or anything like that. They're like, oh, this has been in you this whole time. Oh, okay.
Nice.
Now we
Yeah,
get
we'll
it.
go with that. We'll go with that. Sometimes I think because I've grown up watching wrestling. Like I don't have a first memory of watching wrestling. I remember my brother was telling me I was 2 years old doing the sharpshooter to him, and so I've grown up, and I've learned that it's a business, and some things that you don't agree with have to happen to get the business, to keep going. And sometimes there's a bigger picture that you don't even see. So sometimes I feel like the wrestling fan can be jaded sometimes. Like we're hard to please. Like, they say we want something new, and then they bring something
Give
and we're
us
like,
something
that's
new and
trash. Why they even, yeah. So now WWE has I don't know. I can only say that they tried their best with things. And this is a question that was in the chat. I want to give credit to Daredevil 29 because it's a cool thing, and it connects to you because you said you did Bloodsport. So they tried this new thing, Raw Underground.
yeah.
It's like a Fight Club deal. I'm like, whatever. If you can't, like, if this is what you're throwing against the wall, let's see if it sticks. I'm very receptive when it comes to things. I'm not gonna say, oh, this is trash and change the channel just to go back the next Monday night. So, with your experience in Bloodsport, how did you react to Raw Underground?
So seeing Raw Underground, I was just like, oh, this is oddly familiar. And then seeing Shayna on it, I met Shayna actually through Josh, and Josh does Bloodsport, and so it was like really like a weird like, oh dang,
Yeah,
but I feel like they're definitely, they're trying to grab like the UFC style audience with like the shoot fighting stuff.
yeah.
But I don't know how I feel about like having the same in the same program. I feel like they need their own
Their own
attention,
little, their own
like
little,
like
yeah, okay.
yeah,
And
like
then
even
you can
though
see
it
if it
falls
definitely
underground,
lasts,
I
because
feel
then you
like
can see if that part has the ratings and if it has the attention.
yeah, I feel like that needs to be a separate event slightly, just because like I feel like you can make like this whole big thing towards it instead of like, oh, like this big blow up like once
Right,
again,
right.
like it could build like to, but they know what they're
Let's just see what happens, right? Let's just see what happens. Hey, so I want to talk about Mission Pro Wrestling, and I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to meet you. You've been so cool during this whole thing, and we've been talking about it. And when it comes to mainstream stuff, you're talking about AEW and how you like what they're doing with the women. And WWE established the women's tag team titles, so it kind of gives other women a chance to be in the same spotlight instead of the one female champion. But Mission Pro Wrestling is giving the spotlight to the entire card to the women. How important is this show in the first step toward female wrestling?
it's so important. I mean, like props to Mel and Robin for putting this together, because like honestly, like it needed to have strong women with strong reputations of just being badasses. So like with that to stand on, I feel like, dude, this is like the most empowering movement that I've been a part of, and it's a huge honor to be a part of this show. Like it not only for me, but for like women's wrestling, and it's just like how I keep saying, like it's a step in the right direction. Like, dude, I hate to sound like a broken record, but shoot, step in the right direction. You know, like it can only get better from here. And
Do you feel like Mission Pro Wrestling can really just knock down the door and break these barriers and be the leading program, the leading promotion in bettering women's wrestling and their perceptions?
for sure, because like it's not only is it ladies working the promotion, but it's ladies running it, and you know, like who else is going to look out for another lady better than another lady? You know, like especially ones that have, you know, they have their side of the street clean. You know, they just want the best for women's wrestling, and yeah.
When it comes to the people around you, what was their reaction when you said, "Hey, I'm going to go work for an all women's promotion in a month"?
Man, I have had nothing but positive feedback. I've had no blowback from this. Everybody is just like, hell yeah, like about damn time.
Yeah, definitely. So when it comes to the casual fan, if they say, "Hey, we haven't gone out in months. There's a wrestling show in town. We're gonna go check it out," and they go to Mission Pro Wrestling, they go to Hell Hath No Fury. What do you want them to walk away with?
I just want them to walk away with knowing that, like, not only do all of these ladies deserve to be here, but you just saw why they deserve to be here.
Hell yeah! And so, Lindsay, it's gonna be you, and you are competing for the NWA Women's Championship. Now, NWA, I think they just got a deal where they're going to be doing weekly pay-per-views. So
Right?
I feel like the opportunity just got bigger for you to have this platform. And when you talk about the NWA, I know they're not, the biggest promotion right now, but they are the most prestigious. And their lineage goes back so much farther. I mean, excuse me, it goes back so far. And you have this chance. What is going through your head? Do you even prepare for something like this, or are you trying to keep it cool and try to treat it like every other match?
Well, to say that I treat it like every other match is to blow off the NWA Women's Champion, you know. So no, I'm not treating it like any other match. It does mean a lot to me to have this opportunity. So no, like I'm not treating it like any other match. This is like a very huge opportunity for me. So I got some tricks up my sleeve, man. Like I'm ready. Like I am training so hard for this. Are you kidding me? Like there's no way that I would waste this by underselling the opportunity.
Now, the opportunity comes with an obstacle. It comes with Thunder Rosa standing in front of you on the way to that NWA championship. How do you feel about her? And is it a different type of preparation when it comes to her as an opponent?
Slightly, a little bit more preparation with that. I know that we do have similar backgrounds. So with her having her jiu-jitsu background, the only thing that she has on me is that she's competed in MMA and I haven't. But don't count me out, man. Don't count me out. I can break bones. So
I mean, I'm sponsoring the event, so I'm following all of you guys. Everybody that's on the card, everybody behind the scenes. I've been in communication with everybody. She said something about hurting your neck, and I know you had an injury in the past. Anything? I mean, anything you want to say to that?
man. All right, so that's what I want to get to. Rosa, like, she says she's going to hurt my neck. Okay, look at the last person that did that to me. They didn't walk out of the locker room. They thought that they could attack my neck. And now Thunder Rosa, not only does she think that she can attack my neck, she's already looking for other competitors past me. Like, our match hasn't even happened yet. And you're already looking for other people? Like, so remember that thing about me saying that I wasn't underselling this match because I knew what was ahead of me? She has no idea.
Right. Right, but I mean, I don't want to get you worked up. I just didn't know where that came from. I didn't know how you felt about it. You know, injuries can be so emotional for some wrestlers. I don't know
But that's
if it
the
messed
whole
with your
thing.
head.
It's like she thinks that she's like getting into my head by saying that she's going to go for my neck. But the thing is, you just put a bigger target on your back.
Oh, okay. Um, I I guess she definitely she left the chat. Um, but she did have some choice words for Thunder Rosa. She's competing for the NWA Women's Championship against Thunder Rosa, and that was weird. But I thank you guys for watching. Uh, I thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all of you. It looks like she got upset because Thunder Rosa said a couple of days ago that she was going to hurt her neck, and I know Lindsay Snow recently had a neck injury, or she didn't recently have the neck injury, but she definitely got her neck hurt. And so Thunder Rosa was talking about targeting her neck, and it seems like Lindsay didn't appreciate that comment that Thunder Rosa made online about Lindsay and her injury. So it kind of just went sideways. But I wish her the best of luck. I wish both ladies the best of luck in that match. If you guys don't know, Mission Pro Wrestling, Hell Hath No Fury, September 18th in Buda, Texas. I'm sponsoring the event along with other great sponsors. So I'll be there conducting interviews. I just don't know how Lindsay feels right now. So I'm going to let you guys go. And if you guys can, just follow me here at DNC Digital. Look, search up my YouTube at DNC Digital. And you guys have a great night. I'm not sure.